Good morning, everyone. It's James Carpenter with Country Living. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what I've been up to the last day or so. And we'll start with the roll-around cart we made in a previous video, modified in a previous video, and in the process of modifying it some more. So let me show you what I've been doing. Okay. So I had all these tools laying around, and I thought I was going to maybe do some pegboard and hang them up. And then I got to thinking, well, I've got that tool cart and they need to be really close to the tool cart when I use it. So I've got my small little level, couple hammers, and I want to talk about the hooks that the hammer is hanging from. Those hooks came off of an old worn out tool belt, and I looked at those hooks and I said, well, I can put those to use somewhere. And this bracket we talked about before, that's for extending the bench for longer pieces. The drawer is starting to get utilized. I like having these dial calipers. It's really good for checking the size of holes and different things like that. I've got all that stuff in that box there. There's special little jigs, like if you're going to make a picture frame, you can take and use one of the tools for that. There's a couple of 3 of them in there actually. And there's some other stuff that I haven't figured out yet, but that came with that habitat mess that I drag home every time I get a chance. And then over here in this compartment, these are all habitat tools that were in some of the junk I drug home. This is just cut off pieces of lumber. You never know when you need them. On the bottom shelf is the extension and the leg for the extension. Okay, so we got our hammers. Let's walk around to the other side of the cart. Let me back up a little bit and get a better view. Okay, so basically we got our 4-foot level. We've got 3 different clamps. We've got these hand clamps. We've got a little nail puller, pry bar, and these antiques here all set on the shelf, and then of course that saw comes in handy. All right, this side over here is still basically the way it was the last time we did mods. We got the bucket to put scrap in, and we got the 2 speed squares. All right, something else I'm going to be working on today is, probably in previous videos you've seen this hanging out here. This is work in progress, but it's got to get taken care of. I'm going to run a piece of conduit up the side of the container. I drew a center line so that I could get everything plumb. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more conduit in, and we're going into that shipping container because I need to get lights in there, and I need to start building shelves in there for more stuff that I've drug home. I started organizing these little bins here, and this is all with scrap screws and stuff that I brought home. And I had them in the automotive shop and they were all bagged up and everything, but now they're all properly placed. And in this drawer here, I actually took the time to put the labels on there so you could read the labels and know exactly what you're dealing with. The ones that don't have labels either didn't have a label or it's pretty obvious what they do, like self-tapping screws. Okay, I've got that piece of pipe bent. I'm going to point something out here. You can see how this comes out, up, and around. I had to do that to get that piece of conduit to just stick into the shipping container about a ½ inch. So that explains that offset. Now, you see that cord? And probably see that light. That light, I fastened it to the bottom of the ductwork. It's an 8-foot LED light. And then I had to fix this little pigtail. So I went to this black cord to the white cord, and I shrink wrapped all the connections, and then I put heavy shrink wrap over all of it. So it's very well done, to say the least. Now, I know this is not the best case scenario to have electric hanging out like this, but it is work in progress. And this cord here, every other plug down through here is on a switch, so I can hit the switch over by the entry door and illuminate the light. So now let's go in the shipping container, see what it looks like on the other side. So I stubbed it through. Now I put this bracket on here just for stability, because you can see my hands behind it. I couldn't screw it directly to the wall, so I put that bracket in there. I had to cut it off a little bit so it wouldn't stick out and affect the cover plate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bend a piece of pipe that goes up over the door, comes down on that side, and put another box in, and that will be the light switch over there. When you come into the shipping container, boom, hit the light switch. And this will be 4 receptacles so that I can plug stuff in. The conduit from this box over to the light switch which is there. Give me 1 second here, it's a little bit crowded in here. So from there up over the doorway and down to the box where the receptacles are going to be. Now I just noticed I need to put a strap right here just to secure that pipe. Okay, I got the wires pulled. This white neutral, black hot, green brown, they all go up through this pipe, and we'll see what it looks like on the other side. Okay, so the wires come in. We've got one hot lead that comes in and goes all the way over to the light switch, and then a hot wire that goes back to the receptacles. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to put these ends on here. This is crimped on there. It's a good connection. This hook goes around the screw and it tightens down just real sweet like. So this ground runs all the way back to the panel box. This darker green ground is grounded right to the box. So it's basically a double ground. If for some reason one ground doesn't work, the system can ground through all this piping throughout the building. So I'm going to take a few minutes now and make up the receptacles and the light switch, and then tie everything in on the other side after I shut the breaker off, and we should be good to go with electric. And then it's just a matter of hanging the lights. Okay, what I've done is I've taken these two receptacles and I've put jumper wires from one to the other. So once I hook up my other leads, everything will be active. I got a little pigtail coming off of this ground to tie in with the rest of the grounds. Over here we have the cover plate for the light switch, and over here we have the light switch. Okay, all the connections have been made. This is the switch here. You got your power in, your power out. You got your ground. And again, that's a double ground. It's grounded to the conduit, and it's grounded to the panel box. Now over here, we have our receptacles. And on the back side, you can see those jumper wires. Now here, I took all the grounds, wire netted them together, and the wire nut's good and tight, by the way. And then this black wire here is the hot wire coming in, and I'm leaving a loop in here. And the reason I'm leaving a loop is if I decide to add on to the electrical at some point, I can sever this wire and tap in right there. So that's basically future planning. And again, this one is grounded to the conduit. Boom, goes to the wire nut. Goes to the receptacles, jumper wire over to the other ground. Okay, what we need to do now is turn the breaker off. And basically, the way I've got this set up for my electrical is these numbers correspond with the breaker that turns them on and off. So for example, this is 14 and 25. So we come down here and we locate 14 and we locate 25. Then we go over to the panel box, and right here's one of them turned off, and there's the other one. So what I did is I had that overhead light, the one we put up yesterday, and I plugged in this LED light here. And as I hit the breakers, I watched the lights go out. So I know the power's completely off over here. So I'm gonna finish up the connection here. Okay, all the connections are made at this final point here. You can see the ground wires all tied together. The hot and the neutral is running up off of this plug here, and then of course it gets power from over here into the plug and then out of the plug and back up through here. Now this little piece here is called an extension ring. Now I put that on there because of the sheer amount of wires here. I don't want to cramp them into that little tiny cavity. So I put an extension ring on there. So let me sew this up and let's see how it turns out. Okay, got that all sewed up. Got the cord plugged back in for the light, which is above us, which works off of a switch over at the door. And now we'll go inside the shipping container. And as you can see, it's dark in here. So what I'm going to do, if you can see it, I'm going to flip that switch, and there's the light. Alright, so what happens is, when you turn that switch on, it makes all 4 of these receptacles hot. And then obviously you can plug more lights in, or if you need to run some power cord, you have access to that. Okay, what we've got here, these are some magnetic hooks. And basically, you can screw this out, the hook that is. And once the hook's out of there, you can take this clip with a screw. That's a self-tapping screw. What this is going to do, this is going to allow this magnet to stick to the ceiling of the shipping container, which means I don't have to drill holes in it to fasten it. So it'll be magnetic, and then the light will hang from this. I can't get this any tighter. And besides that, if you get it too tight, it pokes through the other side. It may interfere with stability. Now this is that cord that plugs into the light. I'm going to make up another extension cord. I figure about 5 feet. And then I'll use these, and I'll stick them up on the top of the shipping container. And then the light basically clips onto these. Okay, like that. And then this will clink to the top of the shipping container. Okay, I got the extension cord done. Now this is the end here that plugs into the light. This white portion came with the light. Now this is that heavy duty shrink wrap. I put it over top of everything to hold it together. Now right about here where it looks like a lump, I actually took the time to crimp every single wire from here to here together, shrink wrap those, and then shrink wrap the whole thing. This cord's 5 feet long, and this is the receptacle. What a difference this light makes. It lights it up pretty good in here. Now, the cord, I used 2 more of those magnetic hooks to suspend the cord, and then it goes over and it's secured behind the pipe and then plugged in. So basically, let me hit the switch. There's the switch, boom. All right, now these 8-foot tubes can be extended. I'm a little out of energy today, but if you go down on this end, you can put a short cord between it and the next light, and I can hang me another light up there and light up the rest of the container. So that's what she looks like. Now, I want to thank everyone for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed it. As far as the electric goes, in case you're interested, it's 12 gauge stranded copper wire, ran in EMT conduit. The entire building is done in conduit, along with my house and my auto repair shop. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, that's a little bit overkill, but I've said this in other videos, but my dad was a union electrician, and he used to take me out on side jobs when I was a kid, and I learned this electrical stuff, and I always thought the conduit was the way to go. That way no mice or rodents can chew on your wires. So if you like my videos, subscribe to my channel. Let's grow this thing. And hit the like button. Thank you for watching.